SCOTUS just dropped a bomb that no firearm owner can ignore. 5 massive Second Amendment cases are moving forward simultaneously, and at the same time, the Supreme Court has issued a unanimous decision that overturns suppressor bans nationwide. Rights that millions of Americans assumed were untouchable are now being reshaped. Laws that have stood for decades could change overnight. SCOTUS is rewriting the rules, and the DOJ is scrambling to respond. Ignoring this could put your rights, your firearms, and your freedom at risk. Before we get deeper, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Let's start with the 5 Second Amendment cases. These aren't small technical disputes. These are blockbuster challenges that could redefine what it means to legally own, carry, and modify firearms in America. One case directly challenges magazine capacity restrictions in multiple states, potentially nullifying arbitrary limits on what responsible gun owners can legally possess. Another case strikes at concealed carry regulations, arguing that citizens have a constitutional right to carry firearms for self-defense without excessive state interference. A third challenges federal prohibitions on certain rifle modifications, including stabilizing braces and accessories that law-abiding owners have been forced to avoid for fear of prosecution. Imagine living in a state with strict gun control, suddenly seeing the potential for a legal environment where those restrictions vanish. SCOTUS is creating legal precedents that could ripple through every courtroom in America, from small-town judges to federal prosecutors. Now, the suppressor ruling. For decades, suppressors, commonly called silencers, have been heavily regulated under the National Firearms Act. Background checks, tax stamps, waiting periods, bureaucratic red tape, these were all the barriers law-abiding Americans faced just to own a suppressor. SCOTUS's unanimous decision dismantles that entire system. Suddenly, for the first time in decades, legal ownership of suppressors is not only possible but protected under the Constitution. But here's the critical part. The DOJ has already signaled resistance. They may attempt to create new regulations, impose limits, or find loopholes to slow down lawful ownership. The clock is ticking. Understanding exactly what the law allows now is essential. Do not wait. Knowledge is your only safeguard. Think about this practically. A responsible gun owner has been waiting years to purchase a suppressor legally. They've followed the law, submitted the forms, paid the taxes, and waited, only to face endless bureaucratic delays. Today, after this SCOTUS ruling, they can act immediately, but only if they know the process. Many will hesitate, thinking this will take years to implement. That hesitation could cost them their legal right if the DOJ attempts to enforce new regulations. The lesson is simple. Act promptly, stay informed daily. Watch the rulings, follow updates, and prepare to exercise your rights within the legal framework. This is not theoretical. This is actionable, real-world impact. Here's what you must do, step by step. Step 1. Study your state and federal gun laws in light of these SCOTUS rulings. State laws may conflict with federal guidance, and understanding the exact boundaries of what you can do is critical. Step 2. Track the DOJ's responses. They may attempt to introduce new regulations, create enforcement memos, or even challenge SCOTUS's authority in subtle ways. Step 3. If you intend to acquire a suppressor or modify your firearm legally, document every step you take. Keep records of communications, receipts, forms, and any legal consultations. Step 4. If you're unsure about interpretation, consult a licensed firearms attorney immediately. Step 5. Repeat this process daily. These rulings are evolving. Every day brings new interpretations, enforcement memos, or clarifications that could change the legal landscape entirely. Let's break this down with real-life examples. Imagine a concealed carry owner living in New York City, currently restricted by state laws that severely limit firearm transport and possession. One SCOTUS ruling could grant them the ability to legally carry a firearm openly in public for self-defense, something that would have been illegal yesterday. Another example. A hunting enthusiast in California who wanted to purchase a suppressor to protect wildlife and reduce hearing damage could now do so without waiting months or paying unnecessary fees. Yet, if they ignore procedural steps or fail to track DOJ actions, they could inadvertently violate new or transitional rules. This illustrates a broader principle. SCOTUS gives rights, but knowledge and action are required to safely exercise them. Now, let's discuss the legal reasoning behind these decisions. SCOTUS cited landmark cases including District of Columbia versus Heller and McDonald versus Chicago, emphasizing that the Second Amendment protects individual rights, not merely collective or militia-based rights. They referenced the National Firearms Act to show that suppressor bans were historically overbroad and unconstitutional under modern interpretations. Language from the ruling stresses that excessive restrictions on firearm ownership and accessory use violate fundamental liberties. The takeaway is clear. The legal foundation is strong, the constitutional argument is ironclad, and the courts have recognized that citizens' rights cannot be curtailed without compelling justification. For gun owners, understanding this legal framework isn't optional, it's essential. You need to remember this. SCOTUS is reshaping what is legal to own, carry, and modify in America. The DOJ's pushback is real. They could try to impose new rules or even delay implementation. But the Supreme Court has spoken. The law is on your side, but only if you understand it. Immediate, informed action is required. Waiting, hesitating, or ignoring the ruling could leave you vulnerable. Repetition is key. Know the ruling, know your state laws, track DOJ activity, consult experts, and prepare to act. Let's explore more real-world implications. If these 5 Second Amendment cases continue to move in favor of gun owners, we could see nationwide changes in concealed carry laws, magazine capacities, firearm accessories, and suppressor ownership. Firearms businesses could suddenly be free to sell products previously restricted. Legal counsel may adjust their guidance for clients, and millions of Americans could gain rights they never realized were at risk. This isn't abstract. This is personal. This is your life, your rights, and your legal freedom. Step back and look at the bigger picture. SCOTUS is signaling that Second Amendment rights are fundamental, and any restriction must meet a very high legal standard. Suppressor bans? Gone. Certain state-level restrictions? Potentially overturned. Federal prohibitions on braces and modifications? Likely vulnerable. Every citizen with a firearm needs to understand that the legal landscape is changing in real time. Ignoring this is not an option. This isn't politics. This is constitutional law in action. Now, let's recap and focus on what to do next. SCOTUS has loaded 5 major Second Amendment cases onto the docket, and the suppressor ban has been overturned. This opens immediate legal opportunities, but the DOJ's opposition could complicate enforcement. Step 1. Understand your state laws in relation to the federal rulings. Step 2. Track all DOJ guidance and memos. Step 3. Document your actions carefully if acquiring firearms or accessories. Step 4. Consult an attorney if any doubts arise. Step 5. Stay updated daily. Repetition is essential. Knowledge without action is wasted. Rights without exercise are meaningless. This is the most critical moment for firearm owners in decades. SCOTUS has shifted the playing field. The DOJ is reacting. State laws may lag or contradict federal guidance. You need to act now. Stay informed, stay prepared, and stay lawful. Every second counts. Every decision matters. Misinformation could cost you your rights, while informed action could secure them permanently. If this information is vital to you, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Share this with everyone who owns firearms, cares about the Second Amendment, or needs to know what's happening legally right now. Knowledge is your weapon. Action is your shield. SCOTUS has spoken. The DOJ is pushing back. Your move is next. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Protect your rights today, understand the law, and stay ahead of every change. The next ruling could be even bigger, and you must be ready.